Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Don't lose a good man because of the ghost. Don't lose a good man because of the ghost. What do I mean by ghost? Well, let me tell a story, right? I remember, I met this nice young lady, very attractive, very attractive, very beautiful, killer body, everything you can like in a woman. A man could like in a woman anyway. All the way around, right? And, so we just started dating and other things. But I noticed something she had. She would always have something to criticize about my behavior, right? My behavior. Because I would do something. He'd say, well, my last boyfriend would do this. Or my last boyfriend would do that. Right? To the point I had to check her on it. Because I said, if everything was so good with your last boyfriend, how come you're not with him still? Let's just say she stopped doing that. Because here was the issue. She was comparing me to a ghost. Now, what is a ghost? Like, a ghost is simply that guy that you were in a relationship with. It could be an imprint, or it could have just been that outstanding guy that, really turned you out or something. Not just quite the same as an imprint, though. But still, you enjoyed him. He had everything you wanted and stuff. But then, for whatever reason, you break up. He might have kicked you to the curb. You might have caught him cheating. And usually when it's a ghost, it's usually that dude left you. There was something there. It was something there. Or if you had to leave him, it was like some egregious thing that you just couldn't ignore. Right? So anyway, but that guy stayed there. He put an impression on you. He put an impression on you. Especially if he's your imprint. Like if it's the first guy you ever got with. Right? The first guy, or just a guy, he not necessarily your imprint, but he just had all the stuff that, at that point in life you wanted. He could have been just the right height, right look for you, personality click, y'all had a good time, and even the eggplant was working for you. Right? He had all of that, but somehow y'all broke up. All right, fine. You go along, it might be a year, it might be a couple years. You eventually meet another guy. And let's say the guy is a good guy. Like, okay, he's at least husband cute to you. At least. Like you can have a conversation and look him in the eye, look at his face without squinching or anything. Or having to look away too much. Like even your friends say, oh yeah, he look all right. It got a good body and stuff. You ain't grimacing when he takes off his clothes. All right? And then on top of that, y'all click, y'all laugh together, and then shoot, the icing on the cake. Dude he's got a decent job with benefits. So he got all this little stuff. He might even have his own place and everything. And y'all trying to do some stuff, but then there's a little thing in there. The ghost. The ghost is still there. You still thinking about that ghost. And like I said, it could be the imprint or it could be that guy who just made that level of impression on you. And then I would say, let's just real quick, the only difference is the imprint is like psychological. It's deep. It's subconscious. The imprint is there whether you want it to or not. But the impression thing, right? The impression thing is more like you consciously like being with this dude. Like you consciously like, oh, you know what? This was good sex, good person, all of that. Conscious. He made an impression on you. In a metaphysical circle, they might say he burned your aura. He burned an impression on your aura. So you're really thinking about him. It's not, and believe it or not, that's not, the impression is not as strong as the imprint. It's not as strong. So, but that's another conversation. Whatever the case, is a good man. You recognize it, right? Everything. So you get the new guy, and what you do, what many women do subconsciously. You comparing notes. You doing this consciously. This is another reason why it's different from the actual womb imprint, because the womb imprint, you ain't thinking about it consciously. But with this, the guy who made the impression on you, you thinking about it consciously. And you might even have a checklist. It's like, well, okay, the previous guy, well, I'll call him for a reference of this, the ghost. Not Ghost from Power, but the ghost. You're like, oh, okay, well, all right, this guy, the good guy, the new guy, his sex game is good, but not like the ghost. He got money, he treats me well, but not like the ghost. He has some ambition, but not like the ghost. Got all the stuff. I mean, a good guy. Like, if you never met the ghost, shoot, the new guy probably would have made the impression on you, right? What happens is this with a lot of women. You so hooked on that ghost that you might kick the new guy to a curb. Find something that's minor, and hopefully you wouldn't be as bold as this young lady I mentioned who was telling me about it, because then she saw another side of Rom. But you can't lose it, because think about one thing about the ghost. It's a ghost. That's the thing. And that ghost, no matter how much you think about him, no matter how much you want him back, he'll probably never return. Especially, let me make this clear, especially if he's the one who initiated the breakup. Now, you might have a chance if for whatever reason you initiated the breakup and he wants you back. But if he's the one who decided just to dismiss you, you pretty much ain't getting back with him. And in fact, next time you see that guy, you might be like, oh, yeah, this is my wife and daughter. Or son. You might have 2 or 3 kids or something. He's cool. It ain't happening. So it's like, but then you asked out because you kicked the good man to the curb. Look, ladies, here's the thing. The past is the past. Now, this is not to say ultimately you might not be able to get back with that guy, but it's a slim very chance. And if it's to the point that y'all not in communication or something, why think about him? Why? This guy done moved on. And then think about something very important with the ghost. Whether he kicks you to the curb or he did something that forced you to leave, the thing is, it happened. It was something about that guy that you're not with him now. So no matter what he did good, he could have had you in the bedroom screaming. He could have said, he could have taken you on like some fancy trip, once a month. Shoot, every weekend, really. Depending on how much money you got, he might have had the fat crib. But there was still something there that prevented y'all from being together. And you can't dwell on it. The only thing you can do is learn from it. But then don't bring that into the next relationship, because this new guy, the good guy, this is a person who ain't going to do that particular thing that broke you and the ghost up. Because especially if you were smart and learned a lesson, you say, okay, I won't do that again. Or I learned, or, you might have been in a position to say, okay, this is what I did to facilitate the breakup. Let me work on it, boom, and move on. But see, sometimes women don't move on. You want that guy bad. You haven't gotten over him. And this is something women should do, honestly. When you have that guy who seemed like he had y'all break up, don't try to jump into anything right away. Go if you need to, get some therapy, talk to somebody, get them out your system. Because you don't want to bring that into a relationship with a potential husband. See, I know a lot of women, a lot of y'all looking for a husband. Y'all ain't trying to be on player thing. Y'all ain't trying to get a bunch of guys. Y'all want a husband. I respect that. But don't meet a good man and bring in that ghost. That man wants you. He don't want you and the ghost. In fact, that's why a lot of guys are really funky. They really want to know who you dealt with before. That's why a lot of men don't want to deal with single mothers. Because baby daddies are a ghost. Seriously, ladies. That's why some men are abstinent. They were like, I don't want to deal with baby mama. Because it's not even so much she got a child. it's so much that that guy might still be there. And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say this now. I don't really judge those guys. I don't judge those guys. I mean, I'll deal with a woman with a child now because I'm bringing in 2 sons. I'm bringing in 2 sons, so I can't ask for what I can't give. And that's cool. But when I was single, though, when I ain't have any kids, I was highly reluctant to mess with a woman who had kids beyond like maybe a quick hit. And I'm being real. Because I said my thought was the baby daddy's still around. And trust me, some baby daddies, and y'all know this, some baby daddies, they still having sex with their baby mamas. They still having sex. So it's like, okay, do I want to fight that? But then it's worse for a man to have to fight a ghost. Because at least the tangible dude, you can at least do something about him. Maybe if the guy just wants you that much. But a guy can't fight a ghost. Because here's the thing with a ghost. You only focusing on the positive parts of the ghost anyway. You forgetting all the foul shit he did to you. How many times he cheated on you? How many times he, had sex with your mom or something, or did something like trifling. You only think about the positive parts because the female mind filters out everything but the sentimental. So you bringing that into perfect man into a situation with a realistic man, and that's gonna hurt you. So deal with that ghost first. Deal with that ghost, then move on to that like ideal guy. That's the guy who's gonna really make you happy. All right. So anyway, ladies, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.